Hi there, welcome back to another Surreal update. So we started this process off with just pressure and release, working with Surreal to get her to load first onto the bridge, and then hopefully this would advance to trailering. But after a week of practicing this, we had made no improvement whatsoever, so I decided to use positive reinforcement and give her some incentive. So here I am, giving her a few alfalfa pellets and just letting her sniff the bridge. And there we go. We got her first step onto the bridge. She had touched it before, but she had never fully stepped onto it and put her weight on there. So some positive reinforcement was exactly what she needed to give her some incentive to conquer her fears and get on the bridge. Plops her back feet on there like a champ. And to me, this was crazy because I did cut out a lot of pauses and breaks, but this only took about 10 minutes to work with her, and I had been working at least a full week every single day for 30 minutes a day just on pressure and release as the reward. And here she goes, the positive reinforcement, and just kills it, knocks it out of the park. I love watching other people work with positive reinforcement, but I haven't done very much of it. I always assumed that it took way longer, but with this circumstance and experience, I'm thinking that it does not take way longer. So I've learned something new, and I'm excited to use this technique with Zareel even more so in her training. But you can see she's still timid about getting up, but she's getting up perfectly fine. So then Camille texted me just to check in and see how my training was going because she has been out of town for the whole month of June. And I told her that I finally got Zareel on the bridge and I had to use some food as positive reinforcement. And she's like, all right, well, it's time to start working with the trailer. And I was like, I want to do this for another 2 weeks. She's like, nope. Try it with the trailer. So here we are, day one. I'm just getting her familiar with the trailer because she's gone in it, obviously when she first loaded here, but she hasn't ever been in since, and not really by choice. So I'm just getting her used to looking inside the trailer, being next to it. We did a couple laps around it just to familiarize both sides of her brain with what the trailer looked like. And then I do have soaked alfalfa pellets in here, and she is getting to sniff them and take a few little bites. And then I am practicing with having her just back straight out because once she gets into the trailer, I do want her to just back straight up. I don't want her to turn around and try and get out. So I'm just starting that here. And I did have a little bit of trouble with her on the bridge with backing up after she ate her food. She really wanted to just stay and eat her food and not back out of the trailer or off of the bridge. And then you'll see later on, she does the same thing with trailering. She just wants to stay in there and eat, which is fine, but not when we're trying to do training. I need to have her to be able to back up. So this is day one, just working on getting her to come up to the trailer, get her head inside, and eat some alfalfa pellets. Sometimes she wants to, sometimes she doesn't. And my whole goal with this was just to take it really slow. And I was like, if I just spend 10 days on doing the same thing over and over again, and by the end of it, she realizes that the trailer isn't scary, then I will have done my job. This is the same day, just a different angle. I had to restart the camera. And that is our very first step onto the trailer. You can see she kind of moves her little feet around, like she's like, I'm not sure about this. Doesn't put her full weight down on both feet, and just kind of is a little timid, but I'm so proud of her for getting in there. And then she backs up nicely. You can see, giving her some love, and when I walk away, I am so excited. Here we go again. Look at that. Look at that. Like a champ. Didn't even take a big break. Okay, so she stays in there for a while, but I just cut out the boring stuff for you guys because you don't want to watch her stand there for 5 minutes and eat anything, so just cut that out. And then we have a little bit of hesitation again, and which is fine. That's, I think, expected. This is going so much better than the bridge was even, and so I'm just so happy with it and glad that she's willing to participate. I had been holding the pan down because I didn't want that to happen, and then I wasn't holding it with my foot, and that's what happened. But I guess it's fine. It's better for her to be spooky when she's half out, learning how to respond to that, than if she's fully loaded. So that stuff's gonna happen, and I feel like she did a pretty good job. She didn't completely explode. She just backed up pretty quickly. And so I decided to bring her up to the trailer so that she realized not every time that we walk up to the trailer is she gonna have to get inside, and then I'm just giving her some love, and I decided to end there for the day. So day 2, here we are, doing it again, and I'm pretty proud of how she just got in. I did do a couple laps around, which I cut out, but just giving her a lot of love for even the effort that she's putting in, because I'm just so proud of that. So she starts to make a habit out of backing out pretty quickly, which I don't like at all, if I can be completely honest, but this is only day 2, so I was deciding whether that's a good idea or a bad idea, just to kind of not have a big reaction with her, but just be like, okay, if that's how you feel, we're gonna take a little walk. And I know there are different approaches to this, but I was like, you know what, my whole goal with this is to make this not traumatic. I feel like there have been other things that I've been teaching her that I took too far, or I ignored her warning signs or her thresholds, and I want to make sure, like with trailering, that I can listen to what she's feeling and thinking. And I know that, yeah, that's controversial, but I wanted to take a softer approach with this, and so I'm just kind of letting her do what she wants to do, and you'll see that she gets better with it. Okay, so here we are at day 3, and this is a day that we had a lot of noise and construction on the street. So you can see that when she loads out, or even when she's in the trailer, she's looking all around, and I kind of am too. We're wondering what is going on, and it is making her a little bit scared, and I understand that because she's in a box, and there's a lot of random noise that isn't normally here. But she's still loading in, she's just a little bit more looky-loo, and there are some big loud noises. So I was still pretty proud with how we did it. Okay, day 4 is kind of similar. She was pretty calm though about loading, and she was doing a really good job about backing out slowly. I did like that she's looking out the window, because I feel like, oh, she's looking out there. She's not just kind of stonewalling and eating her food as fast as she can. She's looking around at her surroundings, and she's figuring it's okay, it's safe to eat. And she backs out. That's totally fine. I don't really care if she's getting out before I ask her to. Eventually we'll start working on that. Later in the video you'll see. But I do really like how she's loading, and she's loading both front and back feet. And so I was pretty proud of her. I mean, this is only day 4 of loading, and she is still quite wild, so I'm pretty proud of her on this. Then she's loaded, and Xena runs by, a little coyote. I was so proud of her reaction though. Zach must have let Xena out of the house, and so I was not expecting that, so I was a little bit spooked, but Zuriel just backed out really slowly and perfectly nice. I mean, she backed out, she didn't stay, but at least she didn't spook forward or run out and then not want to get back in. She's like, oh, it's just a dog, it's fine, and you can see Xena passes by and she's fine with it. So here we are at day 5. She starts to back out slowly, and she does a really good job with that. We didn't have much other than that for day 5, so I just kind of had us move on. I didn't include a lot of clips, but every day I worked about 15 minutes on this, which I feel like is the perfect amount of time for her. She's able to get a bowl of alfalfa in, and she's still enjoying it and interested in the activity, and then we cut it off. So did a good job and put her away. Okay, so I changed the spot of the trailer, and Zuriel was a little worried initially with the new placement, so you can see she's kind of looking around. But I like how she's so slow about her choices. I feel like she was really checking it out and like, okay, the trailer's a safe place. I don't know about these new trees and things that I'm seeing out the window. She starts to kind of turn around there, and then she just backs out, which I was fine with. I cut out the long moments of her just kind of sitting there and eating so that you guys don't get too bored and then just exit out the video. But she's in there for, I would say this session was probably 20 minutes long, and she was in there for a lot of the time just munching away. And then I start to be the one to ask her to back out, and she does a good job with that. Okay, so here we are in day 7, and I only did 8 days of trailering before the rain came and I couldn't hook up the truck. But you will see that we have a little bit of aggression here. So the day before, I had started working with asking her to back up before it was just kind of her decision. So I started asking her to back up, and you can see that she gets pretty angry right there when I'm asking her to back up. Usually I give her a bowl of soaked alfalfa, and then after she's done eating, I put her halter on and I take her out, and then we start this, and she gets her other portion of food for the morning. That's what I've been doing for the last week. I didn't do that because I kind of got a late start, so I was like, oh, we'll just have her eat the full amount in the trailer. And I don't know if that is what kind of set her off. Obviously, she does show some aggression, and I think that's because I'm like, I'm still learning how to read it and see her little ticks before they get to that point. But we still worked on the trailering, and I just kind of acknowledged like, okay, I'm gonna just keep to our normal routine. Eventually she should get over this. But right now she's still pretty wild, guys. So I just brushed her from above and worked with her on just her getting used to me being above her. And I was talking to her and fly spraying and grooming. And then I do the same thing here in day 8. So another thing that I worked on, so I did work on the trailering, which I cut out because I've been doing a lot of that in this video, but we start working with ropes from above and just me talking to her from a higher ground. She's a champ at the fly spray. Guys, she's even better than Kazi is. I'm so proud of her progress. She's just standing there. I have not taught her how to ground tie, but she's just standing there like, okay. Here I'm just mostly doing it for practice. And when she's outside of the pen, I'll do more of like around her legs and her butt and stuff, getting her used to me being there. And then I'm grooming her, and she follows me forward so that she can eat. And I'm just really happy with her attitude today, and also just our connection. I feel like it's getting a lot better. That's it. So it's really, for me, this journey has been so much harder than I thought, but it's the little victories that make me excited about this whole thing. So thank you guys for being a part of my journey, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys all in the next one.